Good morning from Cedar Point opening weekend. It is 10 a.m. The park just opened and we already got off our first ride of the day, which was Top Thrill 2 in the back row.
So we are currently staying at Lighthouse Point, which is this adorable campground area. We're staying in a cabin. The big advantage to it is that it's right by Magnum Gate. So we can just go in for early entry and already be right by Dragster. That's what we've been doing for the last 2 days. Probably again tomorrow, because the line has been getting up to at least yesterday, I think it maxed out at 3 hours. I'm like, I don't want to do
Well,
that.
and because of a breakdown at one point, I ran to some people that waited 5 hours for it. And we were on the third train of the day. We rode on Silver Train. It was the first run that Silver Train did with people for the day, which was awesome because the ride technically doesn't even open until 10 a.m. It's not on early entry. However, those crews were ready to go. They let us in the actual queue at 9:30. We were on the train in 15 minutes.
Yeah,
So,
that was great. That was fantastic. And we will probably get in line later, but we'll probably wait till closer to the end of the night when the lines die down a bit.
So back row was awesome. It was great. You shoot so high up that spike. And honestly, my biggest takeaway was as you are going over the top hat, you start cresting over and you think for a split second, are we gonna roll back? I don't know if we're gonna be able to make it. But then the rest of the train is already starting down the drop and you just whip over it so hard.
It's like floating in midair at 400 feet for 7 seconds straight. It's very crazy. You just stay there.
I will also add that if you are trying to decide which side to sit on, the left or the right, the left side is better for the spiral drop. You whip harder.
Yeah, everything else is the same, but I had only ridden the 2 rides we did yesterday. I was on the right, and he kept talking about this whip on the drop, and I was like, I don't think it was that crazy, was it? And then I rode the lefty today, and I was like, oh, I just almost snapped in half. Great.
Yeah, your whole body just gets thrown to the side. It's insane. First launch isn't anything crazy. Backwards launch is awesome. Final launch is awesome. Yeah.
The backward launch in this bike is my favorite part of the ride. It's freaking nuts.
Yeah. So we're gonna now head back to Steel Vengeance and Maverick and hopefully get on something as those rides are ready to open for the day. Okay, about 10:30, we've been waiting in this line right over here outside of Maverick, which has gotten quite long, but they just opened up the ride for the day, so a little bit of a delay, but still not too bad.
So this early morning gamble is always very annoying, and it stresses me out. So neither of these rides is typically ready, right when the park
This or Steel
opens.
Vengeance, right.
Yes, Steel Vengeance, sorry. In this area. And it's risky, because if you commit to one, you're kind of stuck because the line gets long at the other one while you're waiting over here. So we're betting on Maverick opening first. And it did, we won today.
Yeah, well actually, Austin got in line a while ago.
I thought Maverick was on early entry, so I got here at 9:30.
Did you really?
You've been here for an hour?
So I waited an hour for Maverick.
Oh my gosh. Man, don't you just hate it when all the people in fast lane skip you?
Plus, baby. Come on, mate.
Got that fast lane?
Of course.
Wow. Have fun, guys. How was it, guys?
Amazing.
Oh, so good.
So good.
We're
We all
little
did the
wind
front
blown.
row.
We did all do the front
Oh, it's so
row.
good. I don't know.
You said this is your favorite in the park, right?
Yeah, I think it is.
I mean, respect. I
It's
get
one
it.
of the best in the world. That's so good.
I said yesterday that I think that I like Top Thrill 2 better than Maverick, and now I don't know again. So I'm pretty much useless.
The sheer speed that you have going over some of these hills, around these crazy diverse maneuvers. When we hit the second launch and start accelerating up into the highest point of that turn right afterwards, I had streaks of tears coming down my face just from the speed in the front row. It was amazing. I forgot, because usually I ride this in the back because of the drop, but the front is awesome. It's so crazy.
It's got elements of iThrill 5 mixed in with all these launches and stuff, and oh god, it's so good. It's so fun.
And the natural progression of things right after Maverick, of course, we're heading to Steel Vengeance because it is now open for the day. just got off Steel Vengeance. We ended up waiting about an hour for it. We had a fun train takeover with all of our friends, which was a good time. There was a little bit of a breakdown, but honestly, they got it resolved pretty fast. They're on 2 trains right now instead of the usual 3. But
here's the thing, is this park is full of huge rides, very innovative rides. So like, I would rather have these like masterful rides than like smaller ones that are safer, you know what I mean? That are less likely to ever go down. Like, I don't mind a few hiccups. It's fine, it's worth it for stuff like this.
Yeah, incredible ride. So much airtime, smooth in how it transitions from one moment to another.
Yeah.
And RMC iBox track with these trains is like about as smooth as a ride gets.
Oh
right
God,
now.
yeah. I absolutely love this ride, and it's like, it's one of those rides that I always remember, like, yes, this ride's crazy, it's so long, yada yada, and then like I ride it and I'm like, oh, it's like crazier and longer than I remember. Like, it's just that nuts that you ride this thing a million times. Every time you come back to it, you're like, oh my God,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah, this roller coaster is a full package experience.
It's like 2 packages, if I'm being real. It's really long.
It's a huge ride, yeah. So here's a bummer, definitely a downgrade here at Cedar Point. The Town Hall Museum used to be home to a bunch of really cool historical pieces from Cedar Point's 150 years of history, and it is boarded up, closed. They don't have anything in there that is accessible by guests. It is just being used for storage at the moment, so hopefully they bring this back at some point because this was a great piece of Cedar Point history.
Look at that one. The red one.
That was Magnum!
I love Magnum.
We know that already.
Best ride in the park.
Oh, I don't know about that.
It is.
Chelsea, you rode Magnum for your first time. What do you think?
It was really good. Honestly, I liked it more each time I've ridden it so far.
Okay, I respect that.
Now we need her unabridged review of the ride if Nick
Without
is not
any
listening.
influence. Nick, cover your ears. Now, what do you actually think?
It's growing on me a lot. Like, the first time I went on, it was quite janky, but row 11 was a lot smoother.
Okay.
I've only let her ride in middle seats, so
All right.
I'm gonna take her on
Why
row
don't you
3.
take her to the back of a car?
Take
We'll
her
see
in
how
row
it goes.
3 at the end of the trip, and we'll see if her opinion changes.
Update. We win again. Row 3, insane. The ejector is unreal. That return trip, unreal. That's the craziest airtime in the park.
Rite of passage right there.
Right after I ride Magnum.
That happened to me in the 2003 or something.
Gross.
You gotta do it. It's part of it.
It's like a rite of
There's
passage.
a Magnum bathroom. Here, come here.
No. I have been pooped on by a seagull here. It happens to everyone. One of the best new changes as part of this overall is that the Magnum bathrooms have been completely renovated. These used to be the single worst bathrooms in the park, and now they're completely modernized. So go use them.
We're looking at the one-time fast lanes, just like how the prices vary. Like Magnum's has a shorter line, a little bit less popular, $7.50. And then we had Top Thrill 2 down here, $30. Actually, I heard in the gift shop, the ladies say they don't start selling them till 2 p.m.
Really?
I didn't even know that till today.
Interesting, but yeah, look, it's so
You can see it.
crazy. It's like, it's literally the Disney system that they brought over here to Cedar Point.
Yeah, Raptor and Magnum are the cheapest right now, it looks like, compared to everything else.
So does the price change throughout the day then?
I think they have a finite amount because they were gone yesterday when I looked.
Interesting.
I've seen like the attractions that are posted, like they don't have every ride, it rotates depending on like the time of the day.
And availability,
Yeah,
probably.
availability.
Have fun, guys. As we're walking over to Windseeker, this is the location that used to be occupied by Melt, and it is no more. It is gone. It wasn't even on the meal plan, so personally I don't miss it. I never went to it, but you can still go to different Melt locations throughout the Ohio area. Interestingly enough, all of Planet Snoopy is closed until May 25th, which is pretty surprising considering there's already not a ton of family or like kid-specific attractions in the park. I mean, I guess Kitty Kingdom is open, and then you have Camp Snoopy in the back of the park, but my guess is it's a staffing issue.
Your hands, arms, and legs inside the car at all times.
So we've only done the Wild Mouse one time. That was when we came here back in late May. Wild Mouse is only a 15-minute wait, which is probably why we don't mind doing this, because if it was any longer, we'd probably pass. That's so cute. It's adorable.
It's such a smooth, like, lovely ride. It's easily the best Wild Mouse that exists.
It's very, very smooth. It's just well made. You can just tell, like, you sit in the ride cars and you're like, wow, this is just like high quality.
Well, you usually associate Wild Mouse roller coasters with being kind of junky. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? The ride vehicles are usually junky, the track is usually junky, the way it rides is usually junky, and this is like the total opposite.
Zamperla, please sell more wild mice. Parks, please buy more Zamperla wild mice.
Oh, and Zamperla, you could also sell some more Top Thrill too.
Yeah, that
while you're
too.
at it.
Let's go get some lunch. We're gonna eat at the Grand Pavilion. I will also add, it is not the warmest opening weekend, that is for sure. So being indoors feels very nice when we can take the opportunity. Name another theme park that offers lobster bisque as a side on the dining plan. That's kind of wild, not gonna lie, but the food here is really good. Island meatballs, those look fantastic, and their funnel cake shrimp are really good. We had those last year.
I'm totally gonna get them. They're so good.
There it is. So the rice is pretty good. The meatballs, I think, are fantastic. I really, really like those.
Meatballs are great.
The shrimp, I don't think it tastes very fresh. So maybe we just got a batch that's been sitting out for a while, but
Probably, but
it's
alright.
It's okay. We definitely preferred the shrimp at Dorney.
Yeah, they had funnel cake shrimp there, but they were a little beefier. They had like funnel cake on them.
Yeah,
But that's okay. It's probably better for me not to have that much.
that's fair. And then the fries are pretty good as well. We're visiting the main gift shop up front, and right when you walk in, this is what you see. I think this is the big design they're pushing. You can see Top Thrill 2 right there. It's actually really, really nice. I do think I would like this design overall better in poster form, but that's just me. Lots of Snoopy stuff. This store is huge, and there's always tons of awesome merchandise. I actually have always been a huge fan of the Cedar Point merch game. This is a new design that they have for every ride. It's like this triangle with the roller coaster in the center. There's Steel Vengeance, Millennium, Maverick. Very, very nice looking. And tons of coaster cutouts and tons of nano coasters. Not Cedar Point still having their 150th sign still up. It is 2024. Your 150th was in 2020. I don't blame you for extending into 2021 because of the pandemic, but come on guys, it's been enough. You can take the sign down. Back row on Raptor is fantastic. That is such a good invert. The forces are wild. The layout is wild. Oh man, I love that thing.
That's always been towards the top of my list here at Cedar Point. Like, obviously Maverick, obviously Steel Vengeance, obviously Top Thrill, but this is like really far up there with everything else. Like, it's very, very intense. It's got a really cool layout. I also think it has like one of the best color schemes on like any ride.
Sarah, can we go to Super Nintendo World?
We have Super Nintendo World at home.
Super Nintendo World at home. The ride is fun, but that was like a frigid experience because right as we were in the station, it went down and the wind is so aggressively blowing into the station. It's like a 15-degree temperature difference between the station and like when you're on the ground.
I feel like a human popsicle. But I got to ride in the front row. I don't think I've done that before, and like the view is really awesome.
Yeah.
It makes the keyholes way more fun, and like the drop looks so cool. Like I was envisioning in my head like a snapshot of it. I'm like, wow, that would be a clickbait moment.
Yeah, it's a really, really pretty ride, and the keyholes are awesome, but I'm freezing now.
So when this is being filmed, tonight is the Met Gala, and to talk a little bit about fashion, we're gonna bring Tanner Tucker on to discuss
Now,
his choice.
please describe your fashion choices.
My fashion choices is I was stupid, and it said it was going to be warm this weekend, but it is not. So I had to buy something, and this is the first thing I saw. I was freezing. I had shorts only, and it is freezing here.
These are pajama bottoms.
But at least they're warm.
They sold sweatpants, and he didn't notice.
$50.
What?
Yeah.
Are you gonna wear them to bed every day forever?
Yes, to get my money's worth, I'm gonna have
There you
to.
go.
Oh my god.
All better.
Blue Streak is up next. It's on 2 trains, which is great to see because we tried to do this yesterday and it was on 1 train and now it's 5 minutes.
All clear, you guys are out of here. Have fun and enjoy your ride on Blue Streak.
Blue Streak is fun. It's a classic. There's nothing too crazy about it, but what do you expect? It's like 60 years old at this
What are you
point.
talking about? Those first 2 airtime hills are in fact crazy. I disagree with you.
For the time they were built, they were.
Yeah, I like old wooden roller coasters when they don't hurt. That one doesn't hurt. It's very smooth. And it's blue. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
blue roller coaster that is wood. Hello.
Iconic. Don't wait too long for it, but it's a good time.
Yeah, I was saying to him, I'm like, I wonder if like the fact that their one wooden coaster isn't overly popular plays into the fact that they don't have a big one. But you said it's probably not true.
I think because there are so many successful wooden roller coasters in the Cedar Fair chain that they have proof that a ride like Mystic Timbers and Ghost Rider would be a big crowd pleaser. My guess is maybe they don't want to deal with the maintenance of another big wooden roller coaster. Maybe Blue Streak has a lot to
Also
maintain.
by the lake, very humid.
Yeah, I imagine that maybe that could be why they aren't looking into a new one roller coaster. Because we saw a while back, they sent out surveys about the potential new roller coasters for
They
the
were
future,
all steel.
and no wood coasters. So it doesn't seem like it's in their future, which is
Someday, pretty
I
please.
know it's kind of a bummer, but it's all right. We all just got off Rougarou, which, in my opinion, is an underrated B&M. Like here in Cedar Point, it definitely gets overshadowed, but it's still fun. It's something I want to ride every time I come, you know?
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely fun. Like the layout's really, really cool, and it's got some really like nice nice moments. Yeah, some really good moments in there. My problem is just those restraints. It's not just this ride. It's like most of those kinds of B&Ms, and that I always find myself kind of like pinballing myself back and forth.
Short person problems.
It might genuinely be that because I don't feel like that opinion is shared with a lot of my other friends who are taller than me. So
What do you think, Kevin?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I don't think it's as bad as everyone says it is. It's definitely something that I try to ride when I can. But yeah, overall, I think it's a great layout. Yeah, it's just a little shaky at some points.
Yeah, it's very intense. If you're a VIP Prestige Pass holder, they do have a more permanent structure for you this year. Last year, it was just like a tent underneath here. It was kind of sad looking. I do not have a Prestige Pass, so I did not participate in it, but it's an option.
But Kevin does. Kevin has one.
Kevin, have you used the Prestige Pass holder lounge this year?
Yes, I have. It's pretty cool in there.
Better than last year.
Yeah, definitely a step up from last year.
Good. We're going to do Millennium because even though we have an hour left till park close, the line has gone down significantly. It looks like it's only on the ramp. Millennium Force only had like a 10, 15 minute wait. That's
Yeah,
like
what is
so
up with
rare. I was like, wow, all right, we're gonna take advantage of this.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Like, it is so consistent with its speed. Like, it feels like it doesn't let up until the brake run, and that is awesome.
It's fast the whole way through, which I really appreciate. My only problem with this ride, and I've always said this, is that it doesn't really have any like standout definitive moments. It's just like, it's very fast, and that's really fun. But I like I-305 a lot better because there's like definitive spots on there, like the whips back and forth and everything that really make you feel something.
Yeah.
I guess.
What do you think, Kevin? It's at your home park, you know?
Yeah,
So
it
you
is
ride a
my
lot.
home park Giga. It's still a fun ride, but definitely not the best Giga in the world.
All right. And Gavin, you hadn't ridden this in a long time.
Yeah, a long time. It's crazy because in the world of like all these new like crazy Pantheons, Velocicoasters, RMCs, just like these airtime like ejectors, like it's nice just to focus on pure speed again.
Yeah.
So like riding like a Giga that focuses just on that is like, it was really nice.
Yeah,
Like-
it's good. It still has, in my opinion, one of the scariest lift hills in the world because
Concur.
you just are going up right next to the lake, and when you sit on the left side in particular, it feels like just this crazy drop off up from the water, and you can't see the track or the supports or anything. It's a wild sensation. I will also add, it was funny going around the big overbanks and seeing the remnants from Forbidden Frontier on Adventure Island, because that is no longer a thing, it's no longer around, and you can just see everything sitting like abandoned. So maybe at some point that's where we'll see a future new roller coaster, like what was talked about in those surveys. So we stopped to eat here over at Coasters, which Cedar Point has a lot of like amazing food places, and this is actually a place that I don't frequent, but I was told that they had smash burgers here, which was a little different than normal. So we tried them out. Overall, they're pretty good. I would say better than the average Cedar Fair burger.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's good, and I love the onion rings. They're really yummy.
Yeah, I would say it's a little salty. I think my favorite burger I've had at a Cedar Fair park still goes to Kings Island Brew House, I think it's called. That place is really good. Yeah. It's a little weird though. They don't have lettuce or tomato anywhere, or onion, whatever.
If you're a very picky eater, this is the place to go.
This is the place. It's chicken tenders and burgers. It's
You
good.
can't go wrong.
One of the rides that was fundamentally modified in the construction phase for Top Thrill 2 was Iron Dragon. And that's because the entire spike tower sits in the center of Iron Dragon's track. As you're walking up to the station, look at this. You can see the base of the tower. Last time we were here, it was literally just footers. And now you look straight up, 420 feet in the air. It is crazy. And there you can see Iron Dragon threading the needle. That is so, so cool. They had to remove this section of track right here in order to build the tower so that the cranes could fit. It's really, really impressive. The views, in fact, are fantastic from Iron Dragon. Took it from a ride that I didn't really care to ride ever to now a ride where I was like, oh, hey, this is like a kind of a fundamentally different experience than it used to be. So, hey, absolutely, I'll go for a ride.
I like the aero suspended coasters. I think they're really fun.
They are, but that one is definitely the weakest of all of them. We had something a little different. Sarah got a new credit.
I did. I finally rode the corkscrew after 11 years.
We were walking by Top Thrill 2 and we were like, it is literally a walk-on. We would go straight onto the train.
Meaning corkscrew was a walk-on, not Top Thrill.
Not Top Thrill. Top Thrill's not a walk-on. Fast Lane is a walk-on. Regular line is about an hour, which really is not that bad.
It's so funny because it's like such an icon, like on the Midway. Like when you walk in and you see it, I just always just watched it, never rode it. But credit acquired.
Top Thrill 2 has been down for a little bit, but they just opened the doors for us to enter the queue, which is perfect because the park closes in 5 minutes. All right, Tanner, ride number 2. Was it better?
I liked it a lot more.
Yeah?
I don't know if it's because I took it in more the second time or if it's because I like the back more. I don't know. We'll find out. But I really liked it.
It's really, really
The
good.
spike's really good. The top hat's really good. And you go really fast for a really long time.
Jake, how was your ride?
Awesome. We were in row 3, but it was still great.
It's great in every row.
I guess every row's great, so that's good to know.
Yeah.
So we can sit wherever
Kevin?
we want.
Oh, it's fantastic. It gets better and better every single time I ride it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
That's fair. What do you think, Gavin?
Front row, back row, row 3, row 7, 8, 9, whatever it is. Very good.
Perfect. Mark?
Dude, it's world class. Like it contains its speed the whole time. It's freaking amazing.
That was a really great ride. I think that overall our night ride was a little better last night, but this was still like fantastic. Like
Well,
at
it
this
didn't
point,
get fully dark. It's
yeah, because actually this time there were way less people in the line. It's just nowhere near as busy as it was opening day. So like the line moved a lot faster, and we were on the last train, and that's like pretty freaking cool.
I know. I got second to back row.
Yeah.
I got the last train. You got second to last.
Because they had like 2 extra people.
So they had to send one more train.
I was
and
on the last
like, all
full
right with them.
train. Then you got your little Zen ride thing.
I did get my
whatever.
little Zen ride. It was quite nice.
Whatever. Anyways, it's great. That was like ride number 4 for us.
I know.
So,
It just keeps getting better. I love it.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, it's really strong. So,
I keep screaming on it and I keep losing my voice.
Sarah lost her voice. That never happened. This was a great day. We did a lot. We got to ride pretty much everything we really wanted to. So can't complain. Opening weekend at Cedar Point, I thought overall went really smoothly.
It did. I expected it to be way messier.
Yeah, like
Was it not?
pretty much everything was operating except for like Gemini. I feel like that's okay. There were some breakdowns, but they weren't usually for that long. And
Nothing that was like all day or anything like
yeah,
that.
several rides were on like 3 trains, or for those that can operate with more than that, then they were. There was only a couple that weren't running like at full capacity. Crews were very fast for the most part.
I'm going to guess like more than in the past, they knew that the eyes of like the world were on them right now after, you know, everything that happened with Dragster and then the reopening of Top Thrill 2. Like, I think they knew they had to have this park like in like tip-top shape for this weekend.
Yeah.
And they did it.
Well, and after like media day and past little previews, Top Thrill 2 was just a well-oiled machine at this point. They were ready for the crowds, and that's why everything like went pretty smoothly. So, yeah, I think it was a successful time. Tim, did you have a good visit?
Yeah, do you need a lozenge, sir?
Oh, I don't know what?
A lozenge for you.
I don't know what that means.
He doesn't know what that means. Cedar Point is the place to be for all your friends and family. It's a place like no other. I mean, come on. Is this place on a lake? Oh, just don't come during the muffleheads. It's awful.
All right, we're going to go now.
Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to stay tuned for more Top Thrill 2 related content here at Coaster Studios, and we'll see you next time.